My beloved child, something in the unseen realm has begun to move toward you with unusual speed, and Archangel Michael is leaning in closer than he has all month. Today, December 16th, is not an ordinary date in the spirit. It is marked, is sealed, is chosen, and the message that is trying to reach you right now carries a weight that your soul has been feeling, even if your mind has not fully understood it yet. You are not hearing this by chance. You are hearing this because heaven has been trying to get your attention for days, and finally, right now, the veil has thinned just enough for this message to reach you. Archangel Michael has been standing beside your timeline, observing the battles you did not even know were being fought for you. And today, he speaks with urgency because something is about to shift in your life so suddenly, so unexpectedly, that your spirit must be prepared to receive it. Listen closely, there is a surprise that has already been released into your destiny. A huge miracle, one that has been delayed, resisted, blocked, and rerouted, is now accelerating toward you with divine force. Archangel Michael declares that what you thought was lost is returning. What you thought was finished is being resurrected. What you believed was denied is being rewritten in your favor. Heaven is not asking you to seek this miracle. Heaven is telling you it is already on its way. And child, this time will not come again. There is a narrow window in the spirit where certain blessing, certain breakthroughs, certain divine movements become available. Today is one of those windows. December 16th is carrying a frequency of alignment that has not touched your life in years. It is a moment that is calling your name, loud enough for Archangel Michael to step forward and speak urgently. He whispers, do not ignore this. Do not dismiss this. Something rare is unfolding above you. You may feel a strange stirring in your chest right now, a heaviness, a warmth, a pull. That is your spirit recognizing that this message is not information, it is activation. Archangel Michael is pushing back energies that have been suffocating your growth. He is severing cords of doubt, fear, and delay. He is clearing the spiritual fog that has kept you from seeing the path that God has been laying before you. But here is the part you must hear with absolute clarity. There is an enemy of your destiny that has been working overtime to keep you distracted right before this miracle arrives. Not a person, not a face, but an energy, an atmosphere that tries to steal your attention, your focus, your hope, right before breakthrough enters. This is why Archangel Michael speaks today. He says, you are closer than you realize. Hold your ground. Something powerful is about to break open. And child, the miracle coming to you is not small. It is not gentle. It is not subtle. It is life-altering, the kind of shift that rewrites seasons and restores what was stolen. The kind of shift that makes you look back one day and say, that was the moment everything changed. Your spirit already knows something is approaching. You can feel the edges of a new chapter pressing against your life. You can sense that the old version of you is fading and a stronger, wiser, more aligned version is rising. You may have been tired. You may have been overwhelmed. But even in your exhaustion, heaven has not stopped working for you. Archangel Michael says this clearly tonight. Your time of waiting has not been wasted. Every tear, every delay, every closed door was repositioning you for this moment. And the part that may shock you is this: the miracle coming to you is arriving faster than expected. Something that should have taken months will happen in days. Something that felt impossible will unfold effortlessly. Something you thought was over will suddenly return with favor. This is why heaven is calling you to pay attention. This is why your spirit feels alert right now. This is why you were pulled to this message at this exact moment. Before this day ends, a sign will approach your life, a confirmation, a hint, a signal that what Archangel Michael has spoken is already in motion. Do not ignore it. Do not explain it away. Do not assume it is coincidence. Heaven never sends coincidence, only signals. My child, hold on to one truth as you breathe right now. You are standing on the edge of a moment that will not repeat. The window is open. The miracle is moving. And Archangel Michael is clearing your path so nothing stands in its way. Before this sacred moment ends, pause. Feel the shift. Your spirit recognizes what your eyes cannot yet see. And remember, the next revelation waiting for you is even deeper than this one. You do not want to miss what unfolds next. Type "I welcome this miracle" in the comments if this message is touching your spirit. Blessing code 441 has now been released over your path. Dearest heart, lean in now, because what I am about to reveal carries a depth that many are not ready to hear, yet you have been chosen to receive it. Archangel Michael is not only speaking today, he is intervening. There is movement around your life that has been invisible to your natural eyes, but loud in the spiritual realm. For weeks, perhaps even months, you have felt a certain tension in the atmosphere around you. You sensed something shifty, something breaking, something stirring in a way that felt unusual. That sensation was not imagination. It was a sign. Heaven has been preparing a divine convergence in your life, and today marks the acceleration toward it. Archangel Michael stands in a posture of readiness, his sword raised not in threat, but in protection. The miracle approaching you is so significant that it has drawn spiritual attention on every side. Light has noticed, and so has darkness. The blessing that is coming is not small. It is not something that will simply make you smile for a moment. It is something that will reposition your life. It is something that will realign your future. It is something that will remind you that God has not forgotten you for a single second. And because heaven takes this moment seriously, Archangel Michael is now speaking with clarity, urging your spirit to stay alert, stay receptive, and stay grounded. Here is a path before you that has been blocked for a long time. Not because of your mistakes, not because of your lack of faith, but because the timing was not yet mature. Heaven does not release unfinished blessings, and what was forming for you needed the right season, the right alignment, and the right spiritual conditions. Today, those conditions have opened. Today, the atmosphere around your destiny has loosened. Today, the resistance that once stood like a wall has begun to crack. Archangel Michael is pushing through those fractures, widening them, breaking them, shattering them so that your promise can finally pass through. But listen carefully, for this is deeply important. The miracle coming toward you is not approaching quietly. It is approaching with weight, with intensity, with momentum. You may feel it as an internal pull, a rising expectation, or even a sudden heaviness in your spirit. This is because heaven is preparing you emotionally, mentally, and spiritually for the shift that is about to occur. When God releases something this large, your spirit senses it first. You begin to feel restless, contemplative, stirred, or strangely alert. You may even notice old emotions resurfacing, not to burden you, but to clear you. Archangel Michael is ensuring that nothing from your past weakens your future. This miracle requires space. It requires readiness. It requires a heart that is not cluttered by yesterday. Heaven has also been watching the people around you. Some are aligned with your purpose, and some are not. Some speak life into your path, and some drain your energy. Archangel Michael has been assessing these connections, because this miracle cannot enter a space polluted by wrong intentions. You may have noticed people distancing themselves from you recently, or relationships slowly dissolving, or certain connections fading without explanation. This is not loss. This is divine removal. When heaven prepares to elevate you, it first separates you from anything that could sabotage your blessing. The miracle coming to you is too precious to be shared with the wrong hands. There is also a message Archangel Michael needs you to understand. The delay you experienced was not denial. It was divine protection. Had your blessing arrived earlier, it would have been attacked, misunderstood, mishandled, or prematurely broken. But now, after everything you have endured, after everything you have grown through, after everything you have been shaped by, you are finally aligned to receive what once would have overwhelmed you. You are not the same person you were a year ago. You are stronger. You are wiser. You are spiritually sharper. And heaven sees that readiness in you. Archangel Michael whispers today that the miracle being released will not only bless you, it will vindicate you. All the seasons where you felt unseen, unheard, unappreciated, overlooked, or underestimated are coming to an end. This miracle will speak louder than your explanations, louder than your efforts, louder than anything your words could accomplish. God is about to show what only God can do, and Archangel Michael is preparing the way for that unveiling. You may not realize it yet, but heaven has already begun positioning people, opportunities, resources, and pathways in your direction. This is not imagination. This is orchestration. A divine arrangement has started forming behind the scenes, and soon you will witness pieces falling into place with a smoothness that will shock you. Doors will open unexpectedly. Conversations will happen at the right time. Answers will reach you without forcing anything. This is how heaven works when the season is right. And my child, the season is right. Before this moment ends, hear this last truth. What is coming toward you will require courage. Not the courage to fight, but the courage to receive. Many people pray for miracles but are afraid when the miracle arrives. Do not shrink back. Do not question whether you are worthy. Do not hesitate when heaven says move. Archangel Michael is not speaking to you today to give you information. He is speaking to prepare you for manifestation. Hold steady now. What unfolds next will shake you in the best way. Stay with this message, because the revelation that comes after this will connect everything you are feeling right now. Type "I receive the divine alignment" in the comments if this part is awakening your spirit. Blessing code 909 has just entered your atmosphere. Beloved soul, take a deep breath, because what unfolds now is the moment where Archangel Michael begins to reveal the deeper meaning behind why this day, December 16th, has been stirring the spiritual atmosphere around your life. There are rare moments in a person's timeline when heaven rearranges events with deliberate precision, creating a convergence so powerful that it becomes impossible to miss. You are standing inside one of those moments. Archangel Michael has been signaling, nudging, guiding, and protecting you in ways you could not see. And now he steps forward with a message that carries the weight of urgency, clarity, and divine order. For some time, you have been feeling a strange pressure within your spirit. Not an anxiety, but a tension. A sense that something is approaching, something is shifting, something is preparing to break open. You may not have understood it, but you felt it. That feeling was not random. It was the vibration of a miracle moving toward you at accelerated speed. When heaven sends something that belongs uniquely to your destiny, your spirit senses the approach before your mind understands it. Your dreams become more vivid. Your intuition becomes sharper. Your emotions become more sensitive. Your awareness rises. This is because your soul is adjusting itself to receive what your life is about to step into. Archangel Michael reveals that the miracle coming toward you is not only about breakthrough, it is about restoration. something that was taken from you, something that was delayed, something that was blocked, something that was stolen spiritually or emotionally, is about to be returned. Heaven is not simply sending a blessing, it is sending a correction. The timeline of your life is being realigned, and everything that was bent, twisted, or disrupted is being straightened by divine intervention. That is why you may have felt heaviness recently. Before a breakthrough arrives, the atmosphere tightens. Before a miracle manifests, the air becomes charged. Before heaven reveals, the earth becomes restless. There is also something Archangel Michael needs you to understand on a deeper level. You have been in a battle that you did not recognize as a battle. Some of the heaviness you felt was not yours. Some of the tiredness you carried was not your responsibility. Some of the doubts that tried to enter your mind were not born from your own thoughts, but from resistance around your blessing. When a miracle this large begins to move, spiritual resistance increases. But Archangel Michael has been standing guard, clearing pathways, severing invisible cords, and shielding your spirit from attacks you never saw coming. You survived what was designed to stop you because heaven refused to let it touch your future. Today, December 16th, marks a turning point, a divine release, a spiritual unlocking. Archangel Michael has declared that the season of interference is over. The season of blockage is breaking. The season of delay is dissolving. You are stepping into a period of uncommon alignment, where things that once felt difficult will suddenly feel effortless. Heaven is not asking you to push harder. Heaven is asking you to stay open, stay present, and stay expectant. What is coming will not require force. It will require faith. But here is something you must hear with great seriousness. The miracle coming toward you is time-sensitive. Not because heaven is limited, but because this moment is unique. The alignment happening now will not repeat in the same way. The spiritual conditions surrounding your life are creating a gateway that must be recognized and embraced. Archangel Michael urges you not to sleep through this moment, not to let doubt distract you, not to let fear steal your attention. What heaven is releasing now is meant to elevate you into a higher spiritual posture, a higher emotional clarity, a higher mental strength, and a higher life direction. There is also a truth many overlook. Miracles often require preparation of the heart, not effort, not striving, but readiness. Heaven is aligning your inner world to match the blessing entering your outer world. That is why certain things have been falling away. That is why you have been losing interest in people, places, or habits that no longer match your next chapter. You are not losing. You are being refined. Archangel Michael is making sure that nothing weighs you down when the blessing arrives. And child, listen closely now. There will be a moment soon when everything begins to make sense. There will be a sign, a confirmation, a shift that feels almost unreal. Your spirit will recognize it instantly. Do not question it. Do not analyze it to death. Allow yourself to receive what heaven is handing you. Your miracle will not require you to chase. It will come toward you because it already has your name written on it. Remain with this message, because the revelation that comes next will lift the veil even further. What is being prepared for your life is too important to walk away from midway. Hold steady, because each layer brings you closer to the full truth Archangel Michael needs you to understand. If this is speaking into your spirit, lift your energy in the comments by typing "I step into my breakthrough." Blessing code 1333 is now active over your journey. Like this message, share it with someone who needs it, comment your affirmation, and subscribe so you do not miss what heaven is releasing next. Lift this message higher so more souls can receive what you are receiving. Before this moment fades, let me speak to those whose hearts feel the weight of this divine timing. Just as Archangel Michael prepares you to receive what is coming, he also invites you to help carry this light to others who are wandering in darkness. When you sow into a message like this through Super Thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the description, you are not assisting a channel. You are igniting a spiritual ripple that reaches people who desperately need God's voice. The Word says that those who sow into holy ground will reap a harvest pressed down and overflowing, and today that promise is being spoken directly over you. I hear the Spirit whisper, "If you open your hand, I will open the heavens." Let your giving become a prophetic act, a declaration that you choose alignment, obedience, and spiritual impact. To those who step forward, may divine oil run over your home, may protection surround you, and may unexpected provision be released into your path. Move now, because obedience in moments like this carries uncommon blessing. Precious soul, as you move deeper into this message, the spiritual atmosphere around you continues to open. Archangel Michael is drawing nearer, not with a whisper this time, but with a presence that surrounds your spirit like a shield. There is something significant he wants to reveal now, something that explains why your spirit has been awakening, why your emotions have been shifting, and why December 16th has been marked in the heavens as a day of divine interruption. What is approaching your life is not merely a change of circumstances. It is a heavenly rearrangement that will affect everything connected to your future. For a long time, you have been walking through a season where nothing seemed to move at the pace you expected. Progress felt slow. Doors opened halfway, then shut. Opportunities floated near you, then drifted away before you could grasp them. You wondered if you were doing something wrong, if you were missing a sign, or if heaven had somehow forgotten the promises spoken over your life. But Archangel Michael reveals the deeper truth. You were never stuck. You were being positioned. You were being strategically placed in a spiritual posture where the miracle that is now coming could reach you without interference. There is a mystery in divine timing that many do not understand. Heaven never releases a blessing when it would crush you, confuse you, or connect you to the wrong people. Heaven releases it when your heart is prepared, when your spirit is sharpened, and when your path has been cleared. That is why delays happen. That is why certain doors remained closed even though you felt ready. That is why you were pulled away from certain environments, relationships, or cycles that no longer matched who you were becoming. You were not being denied. You were being prepared for a miracle that demanded maturity, clarity, and spiritual sensitivity. Archangel Michael whispers that the miracle approaching you is layered. It is not a single blessing. It is a cluster of breakthroughs tied to one divine moment of alignment. This is why the spiritual realm has been active around you recently. You may have felt more tired than usual, not because you lacked energy, but because your spirit was adjusting to higher frequencies. You may have felt moments of sudden emotion, as if something heavy was leaving you. You may have noticed old wounds surfacing, not to harm you, but to release you. Emotional cleansing always precedes spiritual elevation. Archangel Michael have been working to lift burdens you forgot you were carrying. There is something else unfolding as well. In the unseen realm, conversations about your destiny have been taking place. Heaven has been reviewing your path, your prayers, your faithfulness, your resilience. Every tear you cried, every moment you felt alone, every step you took even when you did not know where it would lead, none of it went unnoticed. Archangel Michael has been advocating for you, presenting your spiritual endurance as evidence that you are ready for the release that approaches. Heaven responds to perseverance, and you have persevered through storms that should have broken you. The surprise that is coming into your life is not a random event. is a divine appointment that was written long before you were aware of its existence. You are stepping into a season where things that once felt impossible will begin to move with effortless grace. People will show up without you asking. Opportunities will open without force. Solutions will appear without struggle. This is how heaven works when the atmosphere around your destiny has been cleared by an archangel. But hear this carefully, because this part is crucial. Before the miracle manifests, there will be a subtle shift in your surroundings. You may notice a sudden calm. You may feel a lightness within your body. You may sense that something invisible has lifted from the air around you. These are signs that Archangel Michael has completed a spiritual clearing, a clearing that removes obstacles, distractions, and unseen interference. When the environment becomes still, it means the miracle is drawing near. You may also begin to see changes in people around you. Some will be drawn closer to you with genuine intentions. Others will quietly drift away. Do not chase what leaves. Do not cling to what detaches. This is heaven's way of filtering your atmosphere. Your miracle requires a clean circle, a pure emotional environment, a spiritually safe surrounding. If someone exits your life suddenly during this time, it is because they were not aligned with your breakthrough. Archangel Michael removes what the blessing cannot coexist with. Yet here is the revelation that may surprise you most. The miracle coming toward you has been trying to reach you for a long time. Resistance, spiritual interference, emotional clutter, and wrong connections created a kind of fog that made it difficult for heaven's movement to manifest fully in your life. But today, this sacred day, something is different. The fog has lifted. The path has cleared. The timing has aligned. The heavens are open. Archangel Michael speaks with authority when he says that the miracle now has permission to enter your life. Not partial entrance. Not delayed entrance. Not resisted entrance. Full entrance. And child, when it arrives, it will feel like everything suddenly shifts in your favor all at once. What once felt blot will flow. What once felt confusing will align. What once felt heavy will lighten. What once seemed distant will now be placed directly in front of you. Stay alert. Stay receptive. Stay awake in your spirit. The next revelation waiting for you will bring clarity to why this miracle had to wait until this exact time. Type "I am ready for this divine shift" in the comments if this is stirring something inside you. Blessing code 2024 is now released over your atmosphere. Beloved spirit, prepare yourself now, because what Archangel Michael reveals in this moment reaches into places of your life that you may have forgotten, dismissed, or pushed aside simply to survive. What is unfolding around you is not only a miracle but a reclamation. Heaven is not just sending something new. Heaven is restoring something ancient within you. Something that belonged to you before disappointment dimmed your confidence, before heartbreak weakened your hope, and before life's weight caused you to shrink your expectations. Archangel Michael is here to awaken what has been sleeping inside your spirit. For years you have walked through cycles that seem repetitive. Just when you thought progress was coming, something would pull you backward. You might have questioned yourself, wondered whether you were cursed, or believed that something was fundamentally wrong with you. But today, Archangel Michael breaks that lie with full authority. He declares that the patterns you experienced were not failures of destiny, but spiritual blockages surrounding your purpose. You were caught in atmospheres that did not match your calling. You were surrounded by people who could not see who you truly are. You were placed in environments that did not honor your potential. And because of that, you felt disconnected from the life you knew was meant to be yours. But hear this clearly, those cycles are ending. Not gradually, not slowly, not cautiously. They are ending abruptly. Archangel Michael is severing the spiritual cords that held you in old energy, old pain, old beliefs, and old limitations. This is why your spirit feels different lately. This is why you feel both nervous and excited. This is why you feel like something is coming even if you cannot name it yet. Your soul recognizes liberation before your mind can interpret it. And today, something has been unlocked that will affect every area of your life. Your relationships, your finances, your emotional state, your confidence, your purpose, and your spiritual alignment. There is a layer of this shift that Archangel Michael insists you understand. The miracle coming toward you is not just an arrival. It is an unveiling. It will reveal who you truly are beneath the layers of fear, doubt, and exhaustion that have settled on you during your hardest seasons. You were never meant to live a small life. You were never meant to hide your gifts. You were never meant to shrink so others could feel comfortable. You were never meant to carry burdens that were not yours. Somewhere along your journey, you dimmed your light because the world around you did not know how to handle its brilliance. But heaven knew. Heaven always knew. And Archangel Michael has been pushing you, protecting you, and preparing you so that when this miracle manifests, you step into the fullness of who you were always meant to be. There is something powerful unfolding beneath the surface right now. You may begin to notice sudden clarity, moments when your thoughts feel sharper, your intuition stronger, your awareness heightened. This is not random. It is a recalibration. The spiritual fog that once clouded your vision is lifting. Archangel Michael is aligning your inner world so that you can recognize the opportunities heaven is about to place before you. You will not miss what is coming. You will not overlook what is yours. You will not be confused about whether something is aligned or not. Heaven is making everything unmistakably clear. But child, there is a truth that must be spoken now with honesty and love. You have held on to certain fears for far too long. Fears about failure, fears about loss, fears about repeating old patterns, fears about trusting the wrong people, fears about stepping into a bigger life. These fears have quietly shaped your choices. They have caused you to lower your expectations, accept less than you deserve, and silence your own voice. Archangel Michael says that these fears are being confronted today, not by your own strength, but by heavenly strength. You are not being asked to fight your fears. You are being asked to release them. Heaven cannot pour new oil into a vessel still carrying old residue. The miracle coming requires a heart that is willing to expand, to believe, to receive. There is something deeply comforting that Archangel Michael wants to impart to you. You are not alone in this transition. Even when life felt silent, heaven was not silent. Even when people walked away, heaven drew near. Even when you questioned everything, heaven held your hand. And now, as the blessing approaches, Archangel Michael is surrounding you with a supernatural sense of safety. You will not be overwhelmed. You will not be abandoned. You will not be left unprepared. You are being carried into this next season with grace, precision, and protection. But listen closely. Before the miracle arrives, you will notice a moment of unusual peace. It will come suddenly. It may arrive while you're doing something ordinary, something simple, something routine. A quietness will wash over your spirit, a stillness that feels almost otherworldly. That is the final sign. When peace descends without explanation, it means heaven has completed the work in the unseen. It means the blessing is no longer approaching. It is arriving. Archangel Michael is giving you this sign so that when it comes, you will know exactly what is happening. And hear this with your whole being. Nothing can stop what heaven has ordained for you. Not fear, not delay, not the past, not resistance, not doubt, not external circumstances, not internal battles. The miracle moving toward you was written by divine authority, and no force has permission to interfere with it now. You are stepping into a moment that will shift the story of your life. Stay with this message, because Archangel Michael is about to reveal something even more personal, something that will speak directly into your destiny with precision. Type "I open my heart to this miracle" in the comments if your spirit is receiving this. Lesson code 717 is now flowing over your life. Beloved heart, lean in deeper now, because what Archangel Michael reveals in this moment is not merely a message but a spiritual awakening designed to reposition your entire path. You have reached the point in this journey where the unseen realms are aligning with unusual precision. The air around your destiny has shifted. A movement of heaven has intensified. The veil between the natural and the spiritual has thinned enough for you to sense what is coming before it arrives. Archangel Michael stands closer than before, his presence strong, steady, and intentional, because the miracle approaching your life is now within reach, and heaven wants to ensure that nothing interrupts the final stage of its arrival. For a long time, you have been walking through battles that seemed unfair, disproportionate, and confusing. You faced situations that felt heavier than what you believed you could handle. You experienced disappointments that pierced deeper than your outer strength showed. Yet despite it all, you continued. You remained open. You kept hoping even when hope felt fragile. You kept believing even when belief felt slow. You kept moving even when everything around you seemed still. Archangel Michael wants you to understand something very important. Heaven saw every moment of your endurance. Nothing you survived was wasted. Every struggle refined you. Every setback strengthened you. Every delay prepared you. You are now standing at the doorway of a divine release that required everything you walked through to shape you into the person who is capable of holding the blessing that is coming. There is an energy around you right now that is shifting the course of your life. The heaviness you once carried is loosening, the confusion that clouded your vision is dissolving, and the internal weight that made you feel spiritually fatigued is lifting. These internal changes are not accidents. They are indicators. When Archangel Michael prepares to deliver a miracle, the transformation always begins within you before it manifests around you. Your spirit begins to expand. Your intuition heightens. Your emotional capacity shifts. You begin to feel a readiness that you cannot fully explain. This inner transformation is the first stage of receiving what heaven has set aside for you. There is also something significant happening in your external world. You may have noticed that recently, certain doors that once remained shut have started to feel loose. Opportunities are reappearing. Conversations are resurfacing. People who dismissed you before are now sensing your rising power. You may even feel the presence of someone new, something new, or an idea forming inside you that feels divinely guided. This is because heaven has begun clearing the obstacles that stood in the pathway of your blessing. What once seemed out of reach is now moving within arm's length. What once felt impossible is now aligning itself slowly but unmistakably. Archangel Michael reveals that the miracle coming toward you will not only bless you, it will transform the way you see yourself. You have carried self-doubt for far too long. You questioned your worth, not because you lacked it, but because circumstances chipped away at your certainty. You questioned your strength, not because you were weak, but because life placed too much weight on your shoulders at once. You questioned your purpose, not because you were without one, but because the path was clouded by resistance. Heaven is rewriting those internal narratives. When this miracle arrives, you will recognize yourself differently. You will see the strength you overlooked, the resilience you underestimated, and the spiritual authority you were always meant to carry. There is also a cleansing taking place in your relationships. Some people will feel distant from you even if nothing has changed. Some will grow quieter. Some will begin to reveal their true intentions, not through their words, but through their energy. Do not be alarmed. This is part of the separation process heaven initiates when a major miracle is on the way. Not everyone is meant to stand near you in this next season. Archangel Michael is ensuring that only the aligned, the supportive, the genuine, and the spiritually compatible remain close. Your blessing must be protected. Your heart must be shielded. Your environment must be pure. This filtering may feel uncomfortable, but it is necessary. But hear this now with full awareness. The miracle approaching your life will require you to trust the unknown. Heaven is moving pieces you cannot yet see. Events are unfolding behind the scenes. Conversations are happening in places you are not present. Alignment is occurring in realms you cannot physically enter. But Archangel Michael assures you, everything is working for your good in ways that you will soon recognize with awe. You are not losing control. You are stepping into divine orchestration. There will be a moment soon, a moment unexpected and quiet, where something in your spirit clicks. Suddenly, the confusion will lift. Suddenly, clarity will rise. Suddenly, the next step will become obvious. This moment will be the signal that your miracle has entered the final stage of manifestation. Pay attention to your inner world. Your spirit will know before your eyes do. As you continue on this journey, remain open. Remain expectant. Remain grounded in the truth that heaven is not preparing you for something ordinary. You are being prepared for something extraordinary, something that will shift your atmosphere, elevate your identity, and restore the parts of your soul you forgot were bruised. Stay close to this message, because the next revelation Archangel Michael brings will carry instructions for receiving this blessing fully. Type "I align with this miracle" in the comments if your spirit is connecting with this message. Blessing code 5555 is now active in your energy. Beloved soul, what unfolds in this moment is a revelation that Archangel Michael has been waiting for the right time to impart. There are messages that can be spoken at any moment, and then there are messages that require divine timing, divine alignment, and divine readiness. This is one of those messages. You have reached a point in your journey where heaven can now reveal what was previously hidden from your understanding. The spiritual atmosphere around you is clearer. Your intuition is sharper, and your heart is more open than it has been in a long time. Archangel Michael steps forward not with urgency now, but with a profound calm, a steady assurance, a quiet authority that signals you are entering the inner chamber of your destiny. There is a truth you must hear with full awareness. The miracle approaching your life has been in preparation for far longer than you realize. You may have thought your prayers were ignored, or that heaven was silent, or that your efforts went unseen. But Archangel Michael reveals that behind every moment of waiting, there was a divine arrangement forming, piece by piece, layer by layer. Heaven has been constructing a blessing that fits your life with precision. Not a random breakthrough, not an accidental shift, not a moment of luck. This is a carefully designed intervention meant to redirect the course of your life in a way that aligns with your highest purpose. You may have wondered why certain things took so long, why doors refused to open, why promises seemed delayed. But the truth is this: your spirit was being shaped for the weight of what is coming. A miracle is not simply an event, it is a responsibility. It changes your path, your perspective, your relationships, your identity, and your capacity. Heaven had to ensure that when this blessing arrived, You would not sabotage it out of fear, shrink from it out of doubt, or mishandle it out of unhealed wounds. Everything you endured was preparing you to hold what is about to enter your life. Archangel Michael also reveals that the miracle approaching you carries a double purpose. It will bless your life, yes, but it will also vindicate your spirit. There were seasons where you were misunderstood, times when people underestimated you, moments when your silence was mistaken for weakness. You carried burdens no one saw, fought battles no one acknowledged, and survived storms no one praised you for surviving. This miracle will not only shift your circumstances, it will speak for you in ways your words never could. Heaven is about to make visible what was hidden inside you all along. Now listen with your inner being, because this next part is sacred. Archangel Michael shows that your energy field has been undergoing a quiet transformation. The heaviness that used to sit on your chest has been lifting. The confusion that once blurred your decisions has been clearing. The spiritual fatigue that made you feel disconnected is dissolving. These changes are not emotional fluctuations. They are signs that the blockage around your destiny has been breaking. You have been moving through a spiritual detox, shedding the residue of old cycles, releasing attachments that held you captive, and letting go of beliefs that kept you small. This cleansing was necessary because miracles cannot flourish in a cluttered atmosphere. You may also notice that your perception of people is changing. You see their intentions more clearly. You feel their energy more accurately. You recognize who truly stands with you and who quietly drains your spirit. Archangel Michael is sharpening your discernment because the blessing coming into your life requires a protected environment. Not everyone can enter your next chapter. Not everyone can hold the weight of your transformation. Not everyone can walk beside you as your miracle arrives. Heaven is filtering your connections with purpose, not punishment. There is also a shift happening in your thoughts. Lately, you may have felt ideas forming out of nowhere, intuition rising with unusual strength, or clarity appearing in areas where confusion once reigned. You may even feel an inner excitement that does not match your external circumstances. This is because your spirit has already begun to receive the vibration of the miracle. Heaven always releases the spiritual imprint before the physical manifestation. You feel it before you see it. Your heart senses the movement before your hands touch it. Archangel Michael wants you to trust these internal signals. They are not coincidences but confirmations. Now, child, there is something profound that must be understood. The miracle coming toward you will require one final step: openness. Not effort. Not striving. Not fear-driven urgency. Openness. Many miss their blessing because they cling too tightly to what is familiar, even when it no longer feeds their spirit. Miracles require space. Breakthroughs require room to breathe. Elevation requires releasing what no longer aligns. Archangel Michael urges you to remain flexible, receptive, and trusting, because heaven is about to move in a way that may surprise you. You may experience a moment soon, a subtle, soft, unexpected realization that everything you worried about is losing its power over you. The weight will drop. The fear will fade. The tension will loosen. This moment of inner release is the sign that the miracle is no longer approaching. It is entering. Your energy is being widened to fit the blessing. Your spirit is being strengthened to hold the blessing. Your life is being rearranged to sustain the blessing. Stay close to this message, because the next revelation will carry insights that will prepare you to fully receive what is about to manifest. Archangel Michael is not only revealing the miracle, he is teaching you how to carry it. Type "I open the door to my blessing" in the comments if your spirit is receiving this message. Blessing code 2288 is now unfolding over your life. Beloved soul, As you move into this next sacred unfolding, the presence of Archangel Michael grows even more profound around you. What he desires to reveal now is not just a message but a turning point. You have reached a moment in your spiritual journey where heaven begins to unveil not only what is coming toward you, but why it is coming now. This passage in your life has been divinely timed, divinely orchestrated, and divinely protected. Nothing about this moment is accidental. Nothing about your arrival here is random. Your spirit was guided into this message because heaven has judged you ready for revelation that will shift the direction of your destiny. For too long, you have lived in a tension between what you know you are called to and what your life has allowed you to experience. You sensed greatness inside you but felt trapped by circumstances that did not match your inner truth. You felt potential stirring, yet you walked through seasons of restriction. Archangel Michael reveals that this tension was not punishment. This was spiritual stretching. Every part of you that ached for more was a hint of the miracle forming behind the scenes. The frustration you felt was not a sign that nothing was happening. It was a sign that everything was preparing to break open. Heaven stretches you before it elevates you. He shows now that the miracle approaching your life carries an energy that is both fierce and gentle. Fierce enough to break what has held you back. Gentle enough to heal what has wounded your spirit. You are not simply receiving a blessing. You are stepping into a higher dimension of yourself. The version of you that walks into this next season will not be the version of you that survived the last one. The heaviness that has clung to your shoulders, the doubts that have whispered in your mind, the emotional residue of disappointments long past, they are being peeled away layer by layer. Archangel Michael is cleansing the spiritual air around you so the miracle has room to land. You may have already noticed the shift. You may feel less tolerant of negativity. You may feel a sudden awareness of what drains you. You may feel a rising desire for clarity, peace, purpose, and alignment. These inner changes are not random. They are signs that heaven is preparing your inner world so your outer world can transform. Many think miracles begin outside of them, but heaven always begins within. Archangel Michael has been strengthening your spiritual foundation so the blessing that comes next can remain unshaken. There is something deeper he wants you to understand now. Your path was never meant to break you. It was meant to build you. The doors that closed on you were not rejections. They were redirections protecting you from timelines that would have delayed your purpose. The people who left your life did not weaken your destiny. They cleared space for those divinely assigned to your elevation. The tears you cried were not signs of defeat. They were seeds of transformation. Every experience, even the painful ones, were stepping stones toward the moment you are now approaching. Archangel Michael reveals that the miracle coming toward you is a reversal blessing. Not only will it bring something new into your life, but it will reverse something that was unfair, restore something that was lost, and redeem something that felt stolen. Heaven has judged that it is time for justice, time for restoration, time for renewal. You have endured more than people know, more than you allowed yourself to express, more than your smile ever revealed. Heaven saw it all, and heaven responds. But now, there is another truth that must be spoken with clarity. As your miracle approaches, your spiritual sensitivity is increasing. You may notice signs appearing more frequently. You may feel intuitive nudges that are stronger than before. You may sense that your path is gently shifting direction without your effort. This is because Archangel Michael is guiding you into alignment with divine timing. Heaven is orchestrating events around you. Conversations, opportunities, open doors, new directions. They are forming like puzzle pieces preparing to interlock. And child, when this miracle arrives, something inside you will rise that you have not felt in a long time. Hope will feel different. Peace will feel deeper. Your future will feel brighter. You will feel like you are stepping into a chapter that was meant for you long before you believed it was possible. The energy around your life is expanding, stretching, opening. You are being prepared to receive something larger than anything you have held before. Stay with this message, because Archangel Michael is preparing to reveal the next layer, a revelation that will show you the role you play in the miracle that is approaching. What comes next will connect everything that has been unfolding. Type "I rise into my miracle" in the comments if your spirit is awakening as you read this. Blessing code 3003 is now active in your atmosphere. Like this message, comment to strengthen your spirit's agreement, share it so others can receive what heaven is releasing, and subscribe so you do not miss what is about to unfold. Lift this message higher so its light can travel farther. As Archangel Michael aligns you with this miracle, he also calls you into partnership with heaven's mission. This message is not just for you. It is a light meant to reach thousands who are wandering in spiritual darkness, waiting for a word that will lift their soul. When you sow into this work through super thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the description, you extend the reach of heaven's voice to those who need it most. You become a carrier of God's light, a vessel through which hope travels. The word declares that those who water others will themselves be watered, and today heaven whispers this promise directly over your life. I hear the Spirit say, I invite you now. Step forward and watch the windows of heaven respond. Let your giving become a prophetic act that releases breakthrough into your own home. Those who move in faith at this hour will walk in uncommon favor, unprecedented protection, and accelerated blessing. Beloved soul, you have come to a point in this divine unfolding where the atmosphere around you is no longer just shifting, it is vibrating. Archangel Michael stands fully present beside your path now, his wings spread wide in a stance that signifies both protection and revelation. What he desires to show you at this stage is sacred, intentional, and deeply personal. You are not simply listening to a message anymore. You are stepping into a spiritual encounter. The miracle that has been approaching your life is now close enough that your spirit can feel the tremors of its arrival. The veil between what is coming and where you stand is thinner than it has ever been. There is something Archangel Michael wants you to understand with clarity. Your entire life has been leading to a moment like this. The struggles you survived, the heartbreaks you endured, the disappointments you pushed through, the nights when your spirit was tired but your faith still whispered, they were not empty seasons. They were preparation chambers. They were shaping you into someone who could carry the weight of divine purpose. Every experience carved depth into your character. Every setback strengthened your endurance. Every unanswered question refined your wisdom. And now, heaven looks at you and declares you ready. This readiness is not about perfection. It is about openness. It is about willingness. It is about spiritual alignment. And beloved, you are aligned in a way you haven't been in years. Your heart has softened in the places where it was once guarded. Your mind has expanded where it was once limited. Your spirit has awakened where it was once weary. Heaven can now pour into you without resistance, without confusion, without blockage. This is why Archangel Michael speaks with such authority at this stage. He is preparing you to receive what you once doubted you deserved. There is a truth he now reveals. Before every miracle, there is a moment when heaven watches to see if your spirit recognizes the shift. And child, you have recognized it. Even if you have not understood every detail, you have felt the pull, the stirring, the internal awareness that something much bigger than you is forming. That recognition is a sign of maturity. It is a sign that your spiritual senses are active. It is a sign that heaven's frequency is resonating within your being. You may have noticed that you no longer tolerate what drains you. You no longer force what feels misaligned. You no longer cling to what feels heavy. This is not you giving up. This is you leveling up. Energy that once matched your old season cannot follow you into this new era of your life. Archangel Michael is stepping in to cut ties with anything that would sabotage your blessing. He is severing old patterns. He is removing expired connections. He is silencing voices of doubt that once influenced your decisions. This purification is not punishment, it is protection. For some time, you felt like things around you were falling apart, but Archangel Michael reveals that things were falling into place. Heaven dismantles what does not belong before it builds what is meant to last. When your life felt unstable, it was because heaven was rearranging the foundation beneath you. When relationships felt uncertain, it was because heaven was filtering your circle. When opportunities faded, it was because heaven was redirecting you to a higher path. You were not losing, you were being repositioned. You must understand that the miracle approaching your life is intentional. It is not random. It is not accidental. It is not simply a blessing. It is a divine response. A response to your endurance. A response to your faith. A response to your prayers spoken and unspoken. A response to the pain you pushed through even when you felt unseen. Archangel Michael whispers that heaven has not only heard you, heaven has remembered you. The time of silence has passed. The season of divine movement has begun. And now he brings forth a deeper revelation. When your miracle arrives, it will not come quietly. It will bring confirmation. It will bring clarity. It will bring a sense of rightness so strong that you will feel it settle into your bones. You will not question whether it is yours. You will not doubt whether you are ready. You will not second-guess your worth. The blessing will fit your life like it was crafted just for you, because it was. Heaven does not send generic miracles. Heaven sends custom breakthroughs tailored to your destiny. However, Archangel Michael wants you to be aware of this spiritual principle. Whenever a major breakthrough approaches, the atmosphere around you becomes sensitive. You may feel more emotional. You may feel moments of restlessness. You may feel sudden waves of fatigue or sudden bursts of inspiration. These fluctuations are signs that your energy is adjusting to hold what is coming. Your spirit is expanding. Your internal capacity is widening. You are being stretched because what is entering your life is larger than anything you have held before. And child, there is one more truth he needs you to hear. This miracle is not coming to visit. It is coming to stay. This is not a temporary blessing. It is not a short-lived breakthrough. It is a shift that will alter the trajectory of your life in a permanent, meaningful, and divinely aligned way. The old fears will not return. The old patterns will not repeat. The old wounds will not reopen. You are stepping into a new chapter that carries longevity, stability, elevation, and peace. Remain close to this message. What Archangel Michael reveals next will explain exactly why this miracle had to wait until this specific season of your life. You are about to understand the divine logic behind everything you walk through. Type "I welcome what heaven has prepared for me" in the comments if your spirit is connecting with this truth. Blessing code 1616 is now released over your path. Beloved soul, as you enter this next unfolding, the realm around you is vibrating with a deeper frequency. Archangel Michael stands before you with a stillness that speaks louder than thunder. For this is the moment where heaven begins to reveal the hidden architecture behind your journey. You have felt the rising tide within your spirit. You have sensed the nearness of something extraordinary. And now, you are stepping closer to the revelation of why your miracle had to be timed precisely for this season of your life. Nothing was delayed. Nothing was forgotten. Nothing was overlooked. Everything was divinely timed. Archangel Michael shows that your path has not been linear. It has wound through valleys, heartbreaks, uncertainties, and silent seasons that tested not only your patience but your identity. There were moments when you questioned whether the promises spoken over your life were still active. Moments when you wondered if you misheard heaven. Moments when you felt like the weight of waiting was too much to bear. But what you did not see was the unseen construction happening in realms beyond your awareness. Heaven was building a foundation for something you could not yet hold. And child, that foundation is now complete. He reveals that there are miracles that require maturity, not age but spiritual depth. You needed to grow into the version of yourself who could receive what was always meant to be yours. If the blessing had arrived earlier, you would have doubted it, mishandled it, minimized it, or allowed others to influence your relationship with it. Heaven had to strengthen your discernment. Heaven had to refine your inner voice. Heaven had to sharpen your awareness so that when the miracle arrived, you would recognize it instantly and protect it fiercely. This waiting season was not punishment, it was preparation through refinement. Archangel Michael shows that this miracle is connected to a promise spoken over your life long before you understood your purpose. There is a calling upon you that has been dormant, not because it lacked power, but because the world around you was not yet aligned to receive the fullness of who you are. You were growing, but so was the environment meant to support your next chapter. Heaven was shaping connections, molding opportunities, and rearranging circumstances to create a safe landing place for your elevation. You were not waiting alone. Creation was preparing alongside you. There is a deeper truth he needs you to hear. The battles you walked through were evidence of how important your destiny truly is. Had your calling been small, you would not have faced such resistance. Had your miracle been ordinary, the obstacles would have been minimal. But you are not called to an ordinary life. The weight of your assignment provoked spiritual opposition. Yet every force that came against you ultimately strengthened what heaven placed within you. You did not break. You evolved. You did not fold. You expanded. You did not lose. You transformed. And now, the energy around your life has shifted into divine readiness. You may have noticed subtle changes within yourself, an inner steadiness, a deeper confidence, a sense that you are rising from the inside out. These sensations are not random. They are signs that your spirit has entered alignment with your miracle. What used to frighten you no longer has power. What used to confuse you now feels insignificant. What used to hurt you has lost its sting. This is spiritual evidence that you have crossed a threshold. The old version of you is fading, and the new version is emerging with clarity and purpose. Archangel Michael reveals that your miracle carries three elements: restoration, elevation, and revelation. Restoration brings back what was lost or stolen. Elevation lifts you to places your past self could not reach. Revelation opens your eyes to truths that will guide your path forward. These three forces combined create a breakthrough that not only changes your circumstances, but transforms your identity. Heaven is not just blessing you, heaven is reintroducing you to yourself. But he also brings forward this warning, not of danger, but of preparation. As your miracle approaches, you must release the final remnants of fear. Not the loud fear, but the quiet fear. The fear that whispers what if. The fear that clings to old wounds. The fear that tries to convince you that good things slip away. Archangel Michael stands guard beside you to ensure that fear has no voice in the season you are entering. You are stepping into a chapter where courage becomes your natural posture. You will rise not by force, but by alignment. Heaven has opened a pathway that was once locked. Archangel Michael has removed spiritual interference that once clouded your direction. The air around your destiny is clear. The timing is ripe. The blessing is in motion. And child, when it arrives, it will arrive in a way that leaves no room for doubt. It will come with ease. It will come with confirmation. It will come with a sense of rightness that settles into your spirit like a long-awaited exhale. There is something else he wants you to notice in this time. Synchronicities. Signs. Repeating numbers. Sudden clarity in conversations. Unexpected opportunities that feel aligned. These are not coincidences. These are the fingerprints of heaven. They are indicators that the realms above you are active. Archangel Michael is orchestrating events, aligning people, and preparing the ground for what is about to manifest. Pay attention. You will see pieces of your future being placed in front of you before they fully form. The miracle approaching your life is not coming to test you. It is coming to reward you. You have sown in tears, you will reap in joy. You have endured in silence, you will flourish in visibility. You have waited with faith, you will rise with strength. Stay close to this message, because the next revelation will unveil the purpose behind your miracle, why it is coming, what it will activate, and how it will shift the course of your life forever. Type "I stand ready for my divine moment" in the comments if this is awakening something deep within you. Lesson code 4545 is now moving through your atmosphere. Beloved soul, take a slow breath, for what Archangel Michael brings forth now enters the deepest chambers of your destiny. You have walked through a long corridor of waiting, questioning, healing, releasing, growing, and rising. But now, as this sacred message unfolds, heaven draws the curtain back on something extraordinary. This part of the revelation is not just about the miracle coming toward you. It is about the purpose your miracle will activate. You are not being blessed merely for comfort or relief. You are being positioned, elevated, and aligned because your life is entering a divine assignment that has been waiting for this exact moment to activate. Archangel Michael stands before you now in a posture of profound authority. His presence radiates clarity, a clarity that cuts through confusion, fear, and old narratives. He speaks not only to reassure you but to awaken you. What is coming into your life will not simply change your circumstances. It will shift your identity. It will call forth a version of you that hath been hidden beneath layers of survival, exhaustion, and self-doubt. You have lived in survival mode for too long. You have carried responsibilities heavier than most people knew. You have continued forward even when your spirit felt bruised. But heaven saw you. Heaven carried you. Heaven preserved you for this moment of unveiling. He reveals something now that you may not have realized. Every hardship you endured made your spirit deeper, wiser, stronger, and more discerning. Nothing was wasted. Not the heartbreak, not the silence, not the disappointment, not the seasons where you felt forgotten. Every tear watered seeds you did not even know you were planting. Every setback stretched the capacity of your soul. Every unanswered prayer strengthened the foundation of your faith. And now, because of everything you have endured and everything you have become, you are ready to hold what heaven has kept aside for you. This miracle is not entering the life you once lived. It is entering the life you are stepping into. And that difference matters more than you know. Archangel Michael reveals that your future requires a new level of clarity. That is why you have recently felt a quiet internal shift, as though something inside you is awakening from a long sleep. You have been sensing that certain things no longer resonate, certain environments no longer fit, and certain connections no longer align with your spirit. This is heaven guiding you away from what once served you but can no longer accompany you. You are being elevated. You are being repositioned. You are being prepared to walk in a higher dimension of purpose. And now he brings forward a truth that pierces through the noise of doubt. You were not meant to walk through life confused about your worth. Your value is not a question. It is a decree written into your creation. Archangel Michael has been guarding your identity, protecting the parts of you that were fragile, and strengthening the parts that needed resilience. He has been shaping you for the role you are about to step into. A role that requires both courage and softness, wisdom and instinct, faith and action. There is something unfolding in your spirit right now that feels like a quiet rising. You may not have words for it yet, but you can feel it. That rise is the signal of divine readiness. You are not just waiting for a miracle anymore. You are becoming aligned with the miracle. And because of that alignment, heaven is preparing to move with speed. When this blessing enters your life, it will unlock pathways you did not know were connected to your destiny. It will place you in environments where your spirit will flourish. It will connect you with people who elevate your purpose. Archangel Michael shows that this next chapter of your life carries divine intention. There are people you are meant to impact, spaces you are meant to fill, opportunities you are meant to embrace, and breakthroughs you are meant to experience. Your miracle is not a random blessing. It is a doorway into a future that has been waiting for you to heal, rise, and believe again. But he also reveals this. As the miracle approaches, your spirit will feel a sense of anticipation mixed with calm. It will not feel like anxiety. It will not feel like uncertainty. It will feel like a quiet knowing, a deep internal confirmation that something is coming that belongs to you. You may feel moments of stillness, moments of heightened awareness, or moments of unusual clarity. These are signs that heaven is near. These are signs that the breakthrough is close. These are signs that your season is shifting. Child, Archangel Michael wants you to understand the magnitude of this. You are not stepping into just another season. You are stepping into a destiny moment. A moment where the paths you once dreamed of begin to open. A moment where the pain you carried finds purpose. A moment where your spirit remembers why it came into this world. Your miracle is tied to your assignment. And your assignment is tied to your elevation. Stay close to this message, for what comes next will prepare you for the final revelation. The last part will not only seal this prophetic journey, but reveal the fullness of what heaven had been preparing for you. Type "I am prepared" for my divine purpose in the comments if your spirit is resonating with this truth. Blessing code 8181 is now released over your life. Beloved soul, you have reached the final unfolding of this prophetic journey, and Archangel Michael stands before you now with a presence that feels almost tangible. The air around you is thick with spiritual movement, for this is the moment where everything that has been building, every sign, every nudge, every shift, every awakening, comes together in divine clarity. This final revelation is not just an ending. It is a beginning, a doorway into the miracle that has been approaching you since the moment heaven marked this date on your timeline. You did not arrive here by accident. You were guided, drawn, led by the whisper of something sacred calling your spirit forward. Archangel Michael reveals now that the miracle entering your life is not simply a blessing but a divine recalibration. It will reorder your steps, reshape your expectations, and restructure the direction of your future. This is not a temporary shift. This is a turning point, a moment that heaven has orchestrated with precision so that the next chapter of your life begins on a foundation that cannot be shaken. Everything you have walked through, everything you have endured, everything you have released, it has all been preparing you for what is now being placed into your hands. Heaven has watched you rise from heartbreak that should have broken you. Heaven has seen you hold hope through storms that tried to silence you. Heaven has counted every moment you forced yourself forward when the weight of life felt unbearable. And now, because of your endurance, your perseverance, your willingness to keep your spirit open even in seasons of pain, the miracle that once felt distant has stepped into reach. Archangel Michael whispers that heaven has judged you ready. Not almost ready. Not nearly ready. Ready. He shows you now the final layer that needed to be revealed. Your miracle did not come earlier because your identity had not yet fully awakened. You were still seeing yourself through the lens of your wounds, through the lens of your past, through the lens of limitations placed on you by others. But these past days, weeks, and months have reshaped you in ways you may not even fully recognize yet. You have become stronger, not in loud ways, but in quiet, unshakable ways. You have become wiser not through instruction, but through experience. You have become spiritually attuned, not because you forced yourself to grow, but because heaven gently expanded you from within. Archangel Michael reveals that this final part of the message is meant to prepare your heart for how fast your life will shift once the miracle enters. Breakthrough does not always come slowly. Sometimes it comes like a sudden wind that changes the entire atmosphere of your existence in a moment. Sometimes it arrives like a quiet but undeniable unfolding, where everything begins to align with a grace that feels almost unreal. Your miracle may come through a message, a door opening, a conversation, an opportunity, a person, or an unexpected encounter. But however it comes, your spirit will know instantly. This is it. Heaven wants you to remember something crucial. You do not have to chase this blessing. You only have to be open to receive it. The era of striving is ending. The era of alignment is beginning. You are stepping into a season where what is meant for you will not run from you, hide from you, or delay itself. What belongs to you is coming toward you because heaven has commanded it. And when heaven commands something, nothing can interfere, not fear, not doubt, not circumstance, not opposition. Archangel Michael also shows that the miracle coming will not arrive alone. It carries with it waves of restoration, renewal, and recompense. Things you thought were lost will return in better form. Things you thought were broken will be rebuilt stronger. Things you thought were denied will be redirected into something greater. Heaven is moving in layers, not just moments. And every layer is designed to lift you into a version of your life that reflects your true worth. There is also a truth he impresses upon your spirit now. You must allow yourself to believe that you are deserving. Not because of perfection, but because of divine intention. You were created with purpose, destined with intention, protected with reason. Your miracle is not a reward. It is a reveal. A reveal of who you have always been beneath the pain, beneath the fear, beneath the doubt. Archangel Michael stands beside you now not to warn you, but to welcome you into the era you have been preparing for. And child, this final sign he wants you to notice is profound. Before your miracle manifests, you will feel a moment of unusual peace, a calm that settles your spirit without explanation, a stillness that feels holy. This will be the confirmation that heaven has already released what your heart hath been waiting for. When that peace arrives, smile within your soul, for it means your life is seconds away from changing. You have reached the end of this message, but you have not reached the end of your transformation. You are stepping into newness. You are stepping into alignment. You are stepping into the fulfillment of something heaven has long been preparing for you. Type "I claim my miracle" season in the comments to seal this message in your spirit. Blessing code 9999 now pours over your path. Like this message, share it to lift another soul. Comment your affirmation boldly, and subscribe so you never miss what heaven releases next. Lift this message high so its light reaches those who need it most. As this divine journey comes to its final revelation, hear this with the same spiritual weight that Archangel Michael has poured into your path. Just as your miracle is now stepping toward you, heaven calls you to help carry this light into the lives of others. When you support this mission through super thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the description, you are not giving to a channel, you are sowing into a movement of restoration, awakening, and divine intervention. The word declares that those who sow into God's work will see overflow, and today that promise is being spoken over your life personally. I hear heaven whisper, this is your moment to activate what you have received. Let your giving become a prophetic act that unlocks doors in your own home. May every supporter be surrounded with uncommon favor, accelerated breakthroughs, and supernatural protection. Step forward boldly, for heaven honors those who honor the mission.